So I heard you want to get into art journaling. Well, you come to the right channel because art journaling is my forte. I've been art journaling for many years now, and so I've done a lot of experimenting. I was a sketchbook and notebook hoarder. I love stickers. I love writing my thoughts down. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing some tips on how you can get started with art journaling. So what is art journaling? Art journaling is basically a creative way to journal. So you can write your thoughts down, but you can also add some creative elements to it. So you can draw, paint, add stickers, do some scrapbooking, add photos, anything that you like. Some great benefits that I've experienced with art journaling are that it reduces stress and anxiety, it's therapeutic, it boosts your creativity, it helps you cultivate new ideas, and most of all, it helps with self-expression. So before we get into the good stuff, I thought I would share how I got into art journaling. So it all started back in elementary school. I was about 7 or 8 years old, and if you're an 80s and 90s baby, you remember Scholastic's book fairs. That was the shit back then. And I'm pretty sure they still have Scholastic book fairs, but it's not the same. It was so cool back then. I remember getting those catalogs with all the lists of books that were available. And I remember circling all the books I wanted to get that day. And one of those books is this one right here. This book changed my life. It's Amelia's Notebook by Marissa Moss. So I got this book for my niece Maddie for one of her birthdays several years ago, and I told her this is like one of my favorite books from when I was younger, and it's so cool. Like, look at it. It's like a composition notebook, and this is Amelia, and she has all these stickers, and I just realized I think this is what got me to add stickers to all my notebooks. I think it's all because of Amelia. Oh, this is like making my inner child happy right now. So it has like the cover, has like little notes like do not open, danger, radioactive, and then top secret. My mom just gave me this notebook. She said it would make me feel better to write down my thoughts. Why would a dumb notebook make me feel better? Nothing can make me feel better except going back home to my old house, not this new house, in a new city, in a new state. So throughout the book, she writes her thoughts about, moving and going to school, and she'll even draw pictures throughout her day. So the food that she eats, she does a lot of drawings of herself, and she also tapes found objects. So on this page, she taped matches, and it's just so cool. I remember when I first got this book, I asked my mom and dad to bring me to the office supply store because I wanted to get a composition notebook. And so I did get one, and I tried to replicate, her pages, but in like my own life. And it was just so fun to do. I wish I still had it. I'm pretty sure I never even finished it. It was just so fun, just documenting my life and pasting things like drawings, stickers and whatnot. So yeah, super cute. I wish I still had all the books, but I'm glad I bought this for my niece. Throughout my adolescence, I always kept a journal, but I wasn't consistent with it. And it wasn't until I got into Urban Sketch, like back in 2011, when I truly got into art journaling. So I had several books about urban sketching, and I don't have it anymore because I gave them all to some subscribers back when I did a giveaway. And if you still have those books, let me know in the comments down below. I would love to know. But there was one particular urban sketcher by the name of Gregory. He was one of my favorite urban sketchers. He had a few books out, and one of the books that really spoke to me was the one called Everyday Matters, a Memoir. So that particular book, I'll insert it right here. It's basically just him documenting his life. So prior to him journaling And urban sketching, he had something happen to his wife, which was pretty traumatic. She was paralyzed. So after that incident, he just wanted to find something that would give him more meaning in life. So he started to practice drawing, and with that, he started journaling, and he would write about his day, all the moments he had with his wife and his son. That book was the one book that truly got me to urban sketch and art journal, and honestly helped me start this YouTube channel because I really loved documenting my life and illustrating things from life. If you're interested in those books, I'll leave it down below for you. All right, so let's get into the good stuff. First, I want to share my favorite sketchbooks for art journaling. Now, you can use whatever you like. You can use regular notebooks. If you want to use lined paper or dotted paper, go right ahead. Those work fine. But I want to share sketchbooks that have helped me with art journaling that are great for watercolor and gouache paints. I don't use markers, so don't ask me about that. So let's start with, let me see. So here are the sketchbooks that I recommend. Okay, let's start with this first one since I've been talking about this throughout the year. So this first one is the Hobonichi Techo. I will leave more info down here. So the Hobonichi Techo is a Japanese planner, and it's 1 page per day. If you like your pages dated already, then I would recommend the Hobonichi. They have different sizes, different types. I will leave a link down below for you if you're interested. But this one has the grid paper, and the paper is pretty thin, but from my experience, it holds watercolor and gouache well. I don't use a lot of water when I paint, so if you're like me and you don't use a ton of water, then this would be great for any watercolor or gouache paintings. So there's a Hobonichi Techo right here, and it has really cute covers as well. There's that. The next is a Leuchtturm 1917 sketchbook. I wanted to show this one in particular because it's completed. This one has pure white paper, and it has an elastic band. It has the bookmark as well as expandable pocket, which should be great for putting stickers, ticket stubs, and all the things that you want to add to your art journal. So there's a Leuchtturm. And one that's very similar, which is pretty common, is the Moleskine. So this one is a Moleskine art sketchbook, and I added googly eyes to mine. Thought it was cute. So just like the Leuchtturm, it has the elastic band, the bookmark, as well as the expandable pocket. The only difference is that the paper has this ivory color to it, which I don't mind. I actually prefer bright white paper, but this one is nice. So there's the Moleskine. Next is Strathmore Mixed Media Art Journal. This one is in the soft cover. It also comes in hardcover as well. This one doesn't have any of the cool things that the Moleskine and Leuchtturm have, but I really do love this paper. It's a lot thicker, and I love the soft cover because it opens flat. Honestly, all the sketchbooks that I'm recommending all open flat. This paper has a bit of texture. I think this is cold pressed, but it's extra heavyweight. It will be great for all media. So if you like to use markers, I'm pretty sure this will be great for you. And lastly is a Stillman and Burn, and this one is the Beta series. I also like the Zeta series. The Zeta series, that one has smoother texture to the paper, and this one is cold pressed. Extra heavyweight, it's basically like cardstock. Look at that. So this one can hold anything, whatever you want to use. So those are the sketchbooks that I recommend. Now, materials. You can use whatever you want, honestly, but I'm gonna share what I currently use and I haven't been using for many years now. So let me just show you what I have in my pink pouch. Okay, so for sketching, I use my Muji mechanical pencil, 0.5 lead, got my click eraser, and I've been using micron pens for a while, but I definitely want to invest in a good fountain pen. So if you have any recommendations, please let me know because I don't want to keep buying these. I normally go for the sizes 005, 01, 02, 03, and 05. Then I also have a Copic multi-liner. I've had this for a while. You can't even see the text here, but yeah, I have a 1.0. And for writing, I like to use my Muji pen in 0.38. This one's almost out. And then I have my Pentel Aquash water brush. If I want to do like quick washes, I use this. But I do have my plethora of brushes over here. I really don't need all of this, but I have my favorites. And then for my watercolor, I use my trusty Schmincke watercolor set in a 24.5 pen. Been using this for many years. I talk about it all the time. But if you want something cheaper, I would recommend the Winsor & Newton Common watercolor set, or you can buy the ones in the tubes. That's what I started off with. So yeah, that one's much more inexpensive than this one. So when I do my scrapbooking, I like using this permanent glue tape. I got this one from Daiso and I'm almost out, I think. So I gotta go back and get more. I'll probably buy 2 more because I go through these pretty fast. And I have a bunch of stickers here, guys. Oh my gosh. I usually go for the Bando sticker books. Those have a lot of great ones. And I got a lot of these from Daiso. I got these for gifts during the Christmas time. This one was from Michael's. Yeah, I have like 3 sticker books from Bando. And then yeah, just a whole bunch of other ones. So I don't use stamps for my art journals, but a few years ago I used to. I used to buy a whole bunch from Michael's. So if you're interested in stamps, Michael's is a great place to get them. What else do I do? Oh, magazines. If you want to get into scrapbooking, definitely just grab a whole bunch of magazines. Can't believe how pricey magazines are. I remember when I made a vision board, I went to my Barnes & Noble and I bought a bunch of magazines over there and it was almost $100, guys. So I'm sure you can find, you know, cheaper magazines somewhere else, like maybe a thrift store. I want to mention something that I don't use that much. I've used this for a while and I'm actually thinking of upgrading sometime soon, but I have this Polaroid zip printer. So it doesn't have ink at all. All you do is you fill it up with the packs of paper and you connect it to your phone and it just prints out the photos for you. So the reason why I don't want to use this one is because it's pretty old and the quality of the images isn't the best. So I definitely want to get a new one. But this is great if you don't have a printer. Lately, I've been using my printer and I don't want to do that anymore. Yeah, I definitely want to get a different one on Amazon probably or Target that has the zinc paper. Yeah, so zinc zero ink photo paper. And it's a 2x3. Each pack has, I think, 10 photo papers. Yeah, that's basically what I use for my art journal. Now let me share with you guys what I put in my art journal, just to give you some idea of what you can do for yours. All right, so if you haven't seen all my Hobonichi flip throughs, this is basically what I do. Sometimes I'll write about my day, but most of the time I always like to jot down my favorite quotes. I'll answer some prompts. I document birthdays, like this one, this is my nephew's birthday. And I write down like my highlights for the month, selfies. And I also put found objects on my pages. So yeah, I just taped it on here. I love to draw the food that I eat. So for those, I use watercolor or gouache and my inks as well. I like to document like the things that I buy when I go thrifting, things that I'm grateful for. But yeah, this is the photo from that Polaroid zip printer. I mean, in here it looks fine, but I don't like the color of it, so it's pretty contrasty and orangey. So I'll find moments throughout my day that I want to document, things that bring me joy. Like food always brings me joy. And I like to add stickers to the photos. So yeah, that's basically what I do in my Hobonichi. Let me show you my older sketchbooks as well. So this 366 book, number 1, was back in 2020 when we had a leap year. And if you guys remember those videos, I attempted to do a drawing per day. I only did 5 months. So thankfully though, I did fill up this whole sketchbook. So perhaps you can do what I did. You can, you know, draw one thing throughout your day that brings you the most joy. Like for the first day, I put first sunset of 2020. And so I usually take photos of the things that I want to draw. What you can do is just take pictures throughout your day and then look through them, pick one that you like, maybe think about composition. And then this one was when we got Louie, my sister's dog. We got him on the 2nd. And so I drew a picture of him. But yeah, so I'm actually really proud of this sketchbook. Like my drawings look really good here. So yeah, I drew, you know, just random things like my nail polishes, making jewelry, things I eat, things that I read, things that I watch. So yeah, all of these are just references from photos. And so I'll write, you know, short sentences. Yeah, I'm really proud of this sketchbook. Yeah, so I love it. I love looking through this. So yeah, you can do something like this where you can just draw every single day. Or you can do one where it's like this. I call this one my mood book. So this one took me several years. I didn't fill it out often. I started back in 2017 and ended in 2021. So this one I did a lot of scrapbooking. Back then I did a lot of like continuous line drawings and took some images from magazines. And you can do stuff like this where it's like little hidden things. I love elements like that in a sketchbook. Yeah, and then I started getting into like writing down some of my favorite quotes, adding some splashes of color, washi tape. Yeah, I just experimented. So this one was basically filled with all of my deep thoughts. Like this one, ebb and flow. I've gotten used to these patterns. One day I'm utterly inspired and creating whatever I want to, like crazy. Then there are days when I'm feeling listless and unmotivated. So yeah, more quotes. You can play around with it. Add some cute elements. Jot down your favorite quotes. Make cute designs. This one was like during a lockdown. How's your spiritual awakening going so far? Oh, you know, I'm currently going through my shadow work. Been in hermit mode for the past month, facing my past traumas, crying my eyes out, learning to let go of my ego self. Throughout this book, I was documenting my spiritual journey as well and adding my favorite quotes to motivate me. So yeah, there's that. So this is my moment diary. I started it back in 2017 and I really love the content of this art journal. So I'll give you some ideas of like how you can lay things out. I remember when I did my moment diary, I planned out the whole spread before filming. So if you want to make it super detailed and whatnot, I would suggest just taking a piece of paper and kind of sketching out maybe thumbnails of how you want the pages to look. Like if you have an idea of like what you want to draw or what kind of photos you want to add to it, think of like, you know, the placement of it on each page. So on this page, I drew my nephew. He was watching Mickey Mouse Club, and then I wrote a text on the side. And I added some stickers and images. So this one, I drew the things that I thrifted, and then I took a photo of some things that I saw there. And so yeah, I usually like have a paragraph and then I'll draw the images, kind of place them wherever I think looks nice. Now here's an example of me traveling. So I went to go visit my friend Stephanie, and so we had a whole thing planned out. I started from when I went to travel on the Amtrak, so I took a photo of the inside, put my title SD to LA, Adventures with Steph, and then for my titles, I tend to like write in big bold letters. So first stop, squirrel. And then I drew what I ordered. We went to the Renegade Craft Fair. So I put the logo above and wrote my text to one side. And then I drew a scene from the craft fair. Yeah, so you can just play around with it, adding text to one corner or maybe putting paragraphs above it and then having an image here. We went to Echo Park, Pine and Crane. So yeah, you can find an image where like, okay, I want to paint a certain scene from this day. And so I will have it like, you know, for half the page, and then I'll add like a paragraph beneath it. And then if it's like food that I eat, I'll have like certain notes surrounding it. So on this page, we went to Women's March. And so I took several photos during the march, and then I wrote my experience to one side, and then had some images and drawings surrounding it. So here's an example of like a regular day in your life. My title says Recharge Sunday. And so I had an avocado toast. I painted it here and added some notes. And then right here, I drew my coffee mug and then wrote my thoughts to the side. And this was my birthday. I went to Sunset Cliffs. You can see I have half the page of the scene and then a title and my thoughts. A reflection on the past year. Oh, this one is so cute. Remnants of my childhood. Most of my friends live in the LA area, so back then I used to always visit them. And this one, I went to visit my friend Ian and Mir, and I was there for 4 days. Yeah, so, oh, this was a fun trip. So you can see the overview of how I lay out my pages. So I'll print out pictures, I'll draw things throughout that trip that really made me happy, you know, the food that I eat, and I write down some of my thoughts surrounding the images. Another example, like having half the page of a painting and then a photo with some thoughts. So I hope this gives you some idea of how you can lay out your pages. I mean, you can obviously play around with it, but if you are stuck and you don't know how to get started, this is definitely a great way to lay out your pages. And of course, you can also add elements like what I've done in my Hobonichi. You can do scrapbooking, put found objects, just play around with it. You can add prompts, you can write down your favorite quotes. And if you don't like drawing, just put pictures of you and your friends, you and your family, the food that you eat. So some things that you can document and write about are things throughout your day, movies that you've watched, books that you've read. If you go traveling, it's so fun to document your travels, the places you visit, the people that you meet, everything. This is your art journal and you can make it however you want. You don't have to share it with anyone. This is for you and for you to express yourself. Art journaling has truly helped me appreciate my life every single day. I see my art journals as like my best friend, my therapist. I love decorating it with stickers and customizing it however I want and making it my own. The great thing about art journaling is that it shows your personality. It really shows this part of yourself that you don't always share with others. And so think of your art journal as like your trusty companion. It's the one thing that is always going to be there for you. It's always going to have your back. It's a great place to share your thoughts. If you want to vent, your art journal is there for you. Build your feelings onto these pages and add beautiful elements. Be creative. Make it your own and have fun. I think the one thing that I struggled in the past was trying to make every page perfect. But when you are not thinking about trying to make every page perfect and you're just having fun with it, and you're not afraid to make a mistake, it adds so much character to it. So that is it for this video. I hope that this video was insightful, that you learned a thing or two about art journaling, and that it encourages you to start your own art journal. If you have any questions that I didn't cover in this video, leave them in the comments down below, and I'll be happy to help. If you enjoyed this video, give this video a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe down below to see more art videos. I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!